Delarite, my MVVs, welcome.
Hello, Delarite. Happy New Week to all of you. How are you guys doing today? I appreciate you guys so much. A lot has been going on in the palace. Report has it that a woman, that is reportedly behind, all of this drama that has been going on with Dr. Elizabeth, has been struck by, this time people are just confused. Nobody knows what happened. A lot of people are saying it has to do with the fasting and prayer section that she had with Olori Naomi, and others are still attributing the part of this woman to Ogun Jai. So what happened? If you have been following the trend of event, Dr. Elizabeth has been, meanwhile, what did we say we were going to call Dr. Elizabeth again? Great Sapphire, right? Is it Great Sapphire? Yes. So, Great Sapphire has been having issues with conception. Not like she has not been conceiving. From what we know, she has been conceiving. Like conceiving the entire time. Like it doesn't take her anything to conceive. Right now, if the information we have gotten is correct, 4 pregnancies, midterm terminated. Like, nothing went, nothing happened. But midterm, it will not stay. It will just go. For some reason, the pregnancies are not sitting. And so she has been so eager to have her own child for the Oni of Ife, have her own child for the great lion of Odua, right? Yeah, she has been so eager to have her own child for the great lion of Odua, but has always been very disappointed because every time that she gets, pregnant and the pregnancy will not stay. And so recently, she's had an amazing relationship with, our jewel of inestimable value, right? And so recently they decided from our jewel was, directed by the Holy Spirit to do a prayer for, herself and Dr. Lizzy. And they said there were other people who were there. And they said, the Great Sapphire was there. Jojo, Ade Tutu was also there, and Kabiesi was there. They had this prayer together, and she, had series of revelation, and she said a lot of things to the Great Sapphire, like this year will not pass her. She will, God is going to make her get conceived. She will be with, a baby. Yes, that she would carry her own baby. And that our Joel said that in less than 2 weeks, the person who is doing this will be disgraced, will be punished. Like God is going to show how strong he is, and God is going to honor the words of her mouth. That is, our Joel said that God will honor her word as she being the child of God, except she is not called, that God will honor her word. That she has been looking at this issue, thinking that people will retrace their steps. But right now, she has seen that right from the days of John the Baptist, the kingdom of God suffered violence, and only the violent taketh it by force. They need to take this situation by force. And they said this were the word. And she saw a lot of things also plaguing, our great Sapphire also, right? So one of those things happens to be ailment that she has been dealing with. Now, if you look at some people, well, I will not go to that. Let's not get confused. We'll come to that topic later. So she saw a lot of things plaguing, our great Sapphire. You saw a lot of things plaguing the great Sapphire, and the jewel of inestimable value told them everything. That look, you are plagued in the issue of childbearing. You are plagued in this elder ailment you have been dragging with, struggling with, and it's the same set of people that are pushing this. They are the same set of people that want to see you cry. They are the same set of people that want to see you in shame. But and surely as the Lord liveth, I'm giving them 14 days from now. Between now and 14 days, that God is going to pull that person out, bring the person to shame, and everything will be exposed. This is what they said during the prayer section. Olori Naomi said to, Dr. Elizabeth. Naomi is, jewel of inestimable value. Dr. Lizzy is the great Sapphire, okay? I know we will come, what is going on right now, and I've explained to you on the other video. And please, I want to beg you guys, please, if you're leaving a comment, don't get too emotional. Please use these names, and also be civil with your comments. I am begging you in the name of God, for my sake and the sake of this blog, please. Okay, a lot is happening right now. We need to keep ourselves safe and keep the blog safe, please. I appreciate you. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Dolarama. I bring you fresh and spicy just from the sources, still on the royals. How are you guys doing? I appreciate you guys so much. I love you. I show I do well, my people. If you're yet to subscribe, kindly go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and do not forget to turn on the notification bell, and do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. Now, they say when the great Sapphire first, got pregnant, after joining the palace family, she was, filled with joy. She was something, it was something she had longed for. The lion was pleased. The palace women congratulated her, and she carried herself with pride. For the first 3 months, everything went smoothly. She did her medical checks. She took her vitamins, and she even reduced her movement, okay, so that she could focus on her health. But around the 5th month, she began to notice changes. She would wake up in the night with unusual pain. Her legs felt heavy, and she started bleeding lightly. At first, she thought it was something small that doctors could manage, but within days, the situation worsened. She was rushed for medical health and checkup, but the baby could not be saved. That was the first heartbreak. She, cried endlessly, not just because of the loss itself, but because she felt her dreams had been snatched away. At that point, nobody thought that it could be anything. People thought that it's one of those things. Maybe, the anxiety and all of that. And, that was it. Then they say when the second pregnancy came, she approached it with fear, but also with determination. She did not want to repeat the mistake of the first. She, rested more, avoided stress, and, surrounded herself with prayers. By the 4th month, she was beginning to feel a little confident again, but then just close to the 5th month, the same thing happened. She started feeling strange movement in her body, cramps that would not stop, and then bleeding. Despite all effort, she lost the baby again. This second loss hit her even harder than the first, because it confirmed that something unusual was happening. She became quiet and withdrawn. People around her noticed her sadness. She began to question why this was happening to her, and deep inside, she started to feel that, Kabiesi was not doing enough to protect her spiritually, considering his position and influence. Now, that was when, the 3rd one happened again, okay? Yes, the 3rd pregnancy was the most hopeful for, okay? By then, there were rumors going around the palace. People were saying unseen forces were behind her losses. She held on her faith. She consulted doctors, and she also prayed. She believed that if she combine both medical and spiritual effort, she would succeed this time. For the first 4 months, she was fine. She smiled more. She talked about her hopes and even began to prepare her mind for motherhood. But again, at around the fifth month, the same painful experience repeated itself. She experienced sudden pains and complications that doctors could not control. She lost her pregnancy. That third loss broke her spirit completely. She became bitter, angry, and frustrated. She cried openly, and she began to say openly that she blamed Kabesi for not protecting her enough. She believed that with his power and authority, he should have shielded her from whatever forces were attacking her. Instead, she felt left to fight the battle alone. They said the fourth pregnancy was the most devastating of all. We all saw that. By this time, she was already emotionally drained, but she still wanted to try. She carried the pregnancy with caution, barely going out, always, careful and trying not to expose herself to any stress. But despite all her effort, midway, her body failed her. She experienced sudden heavy bleeding, and with 10 hours, the pregnancy was gone. That moment broke her down completely. She wept uncontrollably and felt like her life had lost meaning. She was tired of trying, tired of the pain, and tired of being told to be strong when she was crumbling inside. She turned her frustration fully towards KBSC. And before this thing happened on that last one, I told you guys how she said she was sleeping. Where she saw this woman that came with a very big bowler and tried to choke the bowler inside. And when she saw it, it was a dream. She knew it wasn't good. She got up and she prayed and prayed and prayed, and she went back to sleep. And when she went back to sleep, by the time she woke up, everywhere was wet with red, and she saw that one too was gone. Remember that time there was even a very serious problem where they came back and they said it was, the dress that, Blo had given her. I don't know if you remember that story, that maybe it was from that dress and all of that. They blamed everybody in the palace and all of that. All along, nobody knew that it was this woman that was busy fighting her for, whatever reason it is that she was fighting for. 4 times she carried life and lost it all the same midterm. 4 times her joy was cut short. 4 times she felt her body fail her and her spirit crushed. Each loss left her more fragile than before. She carried the emotional scars everywhere. She looked at other women, children, and felt pain in her heart. She sat quietly many nights, replaying each moment in her head, and although she blamed herself sometimes, but more often she blamed the Oni of Ife. This continued until recently, when we heard that, our Jewel decided to stand with her before, traveling to Brazil. They say Queen Naomi organized fasting and prayer section with, Dr. Lizzy. They prayed, they sought answers, and they waited for divine revelation. It was during that period that Queen Naomi revealed to her that someone was indeed behind the repeated losses. According to what was later shared, they said Naomi received a revelation that a particular woman had been spiritually attacking, Lizzy's pregnancy, ensuring they never survived behind the outside midterm. Not long after this revelation, the shocking news came that the same woman who had been behind the attack was struck by, for Dr. Lizzy, this moment brought a mix of emotions. She felt some relief because finally there was proof that her pain was not just medical but also spiritual. She felt some hope that the cycle of loss might have just broken, but at the same time, she still carries the pain of, 4 pregnancies that were lost, the memory of each of those, and, this is not okay for her. But however, they said the woman has been struck by, and people are confused. Is this Ogunjaye or the prayer of a beautiful Olori Naomi? I'm going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumoured, unverified information making the rounds on social media, should not be seen as fact.